Hello everybody and welcome back to the YouTube. This is Hupsaiya. I'm coming at you with a new introduction on how to defend against tower rushes from a player that's significantly better than me currently, aka 1Puppypaw, number 5 on the ladder right now. I think this is a game from his profile from a few days ago. I thought it was quite interesting how he dealt with a Mongol player. So before we get into it, let me introduce like the general flow, right? He's not opening with an Imperial official first, opening with a second scout first, and then a worker. And 2 of his workers are going to the wood, and 4 of his workers are going to the food. So he's going to make the second scout, and he's going to make 2 workers before his Imperial official. And he's versus the Mongols, so we're keeping that in mind, right? Mongols. He also builds the house with one of the woodworkers. Against the Mongols, you need one of your scouts to like get across the map and look at the Mongols player's uvu at a reasonable time. So detail that I noticed that was like kind of nice is his first scout looks for, he gets pretty unlucky with sheep pathing as well. His first scout goes in a loop away from his base, right? Like his first scout goes in a loop and then comes back to the base before he runs out of sheep. Also, he makes 1 worker. He goes scout, worker, Imperial official. His second scout goes in a loop away from his base to the opponent's base. And this is important versus Mongols, like I said, because you need to scout the uvu to decide whether or not you're going to do the response that he does here. So he gets to 6 on food, which looks pretty normal, but then he rallies back to wood. His first scout has gathered a couple sheep and is going to be bringing sheep back before he runs out here. His second scout is over here searching for sheep, but also it has the secondary purpose that... Oh, he missed one, unfortunate. It has the secondary purpose that he's trying to find his opponent's base so he can look at the uvu, see if there's a barracks, see if he's getting tower rushed. So he sent 2 more to the wood, and then he rallies back to the food. And then, I'm going to pause here. He sees the uvu. He doesn't even know if it's a tower rush yet, right? He made his barracks before he knew if it was a tower rush or not. So I'm not sure if he just knows that this player is going to do this, or if his plan was to Barbican rush himself if he wasn't getting tower rushed or not. But you can definitely wait to make your barracks until after you see if they have a barracks, even though he did not. I think he probably had a plan in mind for what to do, even if he didn't see a barracks. So he's getting his barracks, and he has his second Imperial official on the way. So the worker spread is 4 workers to food, 2 workers to wood. And then we make a scout, 1 worker, and then the Imperial official. Because 5 workers on a resource is the break-even point with your Imperial official, where he'll bring you a little bit more value every minute than a worker would. And then he makes 1 more worker for the food, which is a total of 6. Then he puts 2 more workers on the wood for a total of 4. And then he makes a 7th food worker, which builds the barracks. And then he builds the second Imperial official. And I'm assuming that if he wasn't getting tower rushed, his Imperial official would probably boost the mining camp, maybe so that he could run across here and tower rush his opponent or something like that. So because he knows it's a tower rush, he supervises the barracks and he starts spamming the spearman. He has his scout out here to try and mess with the enemy player's worker a little bit. It doesn't look like he tries to put any damage on that, but no big deal, right? You're going to notice that he has no intentions of trying to get gold, because a big difference between defending versus a tower rush like this and defending versus a tower rush like when you're trying to just rush feudal age to get archers is that you're forcing the Mongols player's investment. He sees that you have spears, so he's going to need to continue to produce spears, right? So the Mongol player has 4 spearmen right now, and we have 3. So he's going to have to continue making spears and he's going to have to continue rallying to the food and not to his gold, because his food is all getting spent on spearmen. See, he's continuing to build spears, and that means that his feudal age is going to be significantly later than if he didn't have to make more than 4 to 5 spears. So the tower comes down, and Puppypaw just contests it directly with his spearmen, because he's significantly closer to his rally point than the Mongol player is. Like, the Mongol player, this is his 5th spearman, and this is our 5th spearman, right? It's right next to where we need it to be, while the Mongol player has to run all the way across the map to get here. The Khan is quite annoying, but you'll notice that he's just going to win this fight real convincingly, because he just has more spearmen here. There's 5 spearmen versus 4 now. Now it's 6 spearmen versus 4. He does micro a little lackadaisically there, but you'll see, right, he has a couple spearmen chasing this worker away with the scout, and then the other spearmen, because the Mongol player knows he's behind in unit count, right? So the Mongol player uses his units here to chase these units. Puppypaw is just going to turn and fight because he has a numbers advantage, and then he'll win. So the Mongol player has to chase the smaller group of units and just let go of the fact that his worker is getting chased down. So the tower rush is pretty effectively over at this point. And I'm going to also say Puppypaw keeps making spearmen. He's not making any right now because he just doesn't have the food for it. But you don't want to stop making spearmen, because the Mongol player is not going to stop making spearmen. And you don't have a scout on your opponent, really. See, like, there's constant spearmen production. Because the Mongol player, when they tower rush you, is actually very all-in. They're very super heavily dependent on towers going up and denying you resources. And if that doesn't happen, they're pretty far behind. You're going to notice here, it's 18 workers to 15. Mongol player has 15 workers. China has 18. So he's in a really good position right now. He's going to start gathering gold with his Imperial official as well. This is another thing that's, like, really powerful about China specifically playing like that. A lot of the other civilizations cannot respond to a tower rush by making a barracks, and it's because they don't have an early game passive gold generation mechanic like China does. I think the Rus could do this response, and China could do this response. But anyone who has to actually gather gold probably cannot do this response. So this is a very China Rus specific response, because you get gold from passive mechanics instead of mining it. The rest of this game goes on for another 20 minutes, so I'm not gonna go too deep on that, but I'm gonna just go until the point where he actually denies the first tower and his opponent isn't tower rushing him anymore. So he walked another worker across the map, which is bad, right? Oh, no, don't game switch. Don't scene switch. I accidentally hit a hotkey. There's another worker across the map. So the Mongol player only has 16 workers actually actively gathering, and Puppypaw, the China player, has 20. So this is really bad for him. We've got 8 spears here for Puppypaw because, like I said, he's near his reinforcement point. We have 8 spears for the Mongols as well, but Puppypaw's micro is superior to this player. His ability to, like, move the units around and pull low HP units and focus fire is better than his opponent's. And he's just right next to his rally point, and it takes 6 seconds for Spearman to build. So, I hope this was helpful. This was pretty nice for me to see, because I know that I haven't been reacting very well to tower rushes when I do get tower rushed. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the comment section below the video. Remember to hit that thumbs up button. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter. All the links will be in the description of the video. Have a wonderful evening or morning. Peace.